Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Pan the Organizer. This is part number 1 of a 3-part series where we fully detail this 2025 Toyota 4Runner off-road hybrid from the beginning all the way till the end, both inside and out. We're going to clean, enhance, and protect all the surfaces because the owner wants to bring it on fishing and hunting trips and wants to enjoy it off-road. So that's the reason why this vehicle was made, right? So if we look at the assessment of the paint right now, we can see there's a bit of dirt, but a lot of water spotting. There are scratches on the surface as well. So it needs a lot of love and attention. And we're going to go through all the steps, all the products, all the tools, all the equipment. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So as we look at this vehicle in a beautiful underground colorway, so basically kind of a charcoal, it has an iForce Max 2.4 liter turbo 4-cylinder engine. It's a hybrid powertrain, so also has a 1.87 kilowatt hour battery, and it produces a total of 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. And the owner wants to, enjoy this outside for the reason why it was built, right? So I respect that. And we're going to do that by applying a ceramic coating and basically protecting all the surfaces, both outside and inside. So you're going to see everything with me. So come along for the ride. Let's go ahead and start the show. All right, I remind you, like always, that I'll leave the links to all the tools, products, and equipment in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. So again, all you have to do is just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We're going to start with the pre-wash. So for the snow foam, we're using the Clean by Pan the Organizer shampoo in a 1:10 dilution ratio in the foam cannon container. So 90 milliliters or 3 ounces of products in 900 milliliters of water. So that's roughly 30 ounces of water. So for that 1:10 ratio, mix that up nicely. It doesn't matter if you use warm or cold water in the foam cannon container, do as you wish. So the purpose of the snow foam is to blanket the vehicle with a layer of the shampoo, let it dwell. So this is going to start to lift, emulsify, and encapsulate all that loose dirt and debris so you can safely rinse it off and minimize the appearance of swirls and scratches during the contact wash. So we're taking this as a safety precaution, and it also allows us to basically assess the state of the paint before we do the contact wash. Once again, the safer the wash methods and the drying methods, the less chances you have of marring the paint or giving those love marks, as we call them. So here we see that beautiful foam. It's shaving cream like texture, and we're going to go ahead and do an initial rinse. This is where you want to spend a lot of time going into the wheel arches, the wheels themselves, the tires. Do a thorough job. It's important because, again, we're releasing the loose dirt and debris. Next, we're going to prepare a bucket for the wheels. I have a separate bucket for that. So all I need here is 1/2 ounce for every gallon of water. If you're having 2 gallons of water in your bucket, you're going to have 1 ounce of product. That's 30 milliliters of product. We're going to spray some Maniac line wheel and tire cleaner on the wheels and tires. This is a 1:5 dilution, so relatively strong to get rid of a lot of the dirt and debris. We're going to use a Detail Factory stiff nylon brush for the tires themselves. Then we're going to use this Easy Detail barrel brush to go into the barrels of the wheels. Then we have a Detail Factory wheel face brush for the wheel faces. You can also use something like the Clean by Pan the Organizer boar hair brush to get to these lug nuts. So it's all about the details, guys. Then we're going to rinse. And a quick pro tip to protect the wheels both inside and out without doing a full ceramic coating application is to apply a spray-on rinse-off sealant. Here I'm doing a second application of the wheel and tire cleaner. We can see the foam is white on the tires, meaning it took care of the business with the first pass. So I'm spraying the Clean by Pan the Organizer ceramic spray sealant both outside and inside the barrel, and then immediately rinsing off with a strong stream of water from the pressure washer. That adds hydrophobic properties, and it's going to make the wheels easier to clean in the future, but also easier to dry. Now for the wash process, we're using the Clean by Pan the Organizer shampoo, 1/2 ounce of product for every gallon of water. So in this case, 4 gallons of water in the bucket. I'm using 2 ounces or 60 milliliters of the shampoo. I'm refoaming the vehicle with what was left in the foam cannon container, so it had just more lubrication on the surface. That's what we call the foam rinse foam wash method. So you do that initial pre-wash with the foam, then you rinse, you refoam the vehicle for extra lubrication, and then you do the contact wash. I like to work from top to bottom because the bottom of the vehicle is usually the dirtiest, so I leave that at the end to not cross-contaminate. Often clean your mitt inside your bucket with the grit guard in the bottom to keep all that dirt trapped and not go back into the wash solution. And by working, I split the vehicle in 3 sections. So the top portion in the windows, then midway through the bodywork, and I keep the lower ends of the rocker panels and all that kind of stuff for the end, again, to not cross-contaminate and not scratch or swirl the paintwork. So you go ahead and use your microfiber wash mitt to clean the vehicle, do a good job. And then once again, we're going to rinse. Make sure you rinse the shampoo thoroughly. The cool thing about the Clean by Pan, the organizer shampoo, it rinses easily and freely. It doesn't leave any residue behind. Once you dilute it, it's pH neutral in the bucket. It's pretty cool to use and it smells amazing. Now we're going to do the chemical decontamination and mechanical decontamination at the same time. We're using the Clean by Pan, the organizer iron remover. This is not the final label, so it's currently in production. Depending on when you're watching this, it might be available on the website. And we're using the Clean by Pan clay towel, a synthetic perforated decontamination towel, so it contains no abrasives and will not mar the surface. As long as you use proper lubrication, you can use soapy water, you can use a rinseless solution as you want. Just dunk your clay towel in there and it's going to free up some lubrication as you're going ahead. Don't apply too much pressure on the surface. Let the towel do the job. So you're using a lot less iron remover that way because it's one spray on the towel, one spray on the surface. Match the towel on the surface where you sprayed the iron remover, and then you go ahead and do the decontamination. So you're combining both steps in one, very efficient. Here now we're drying the vehicle because we finally rinsed it. We're using the Clean by Pan, the organizer microfiber drying towel, dual-sided. It is absolutely amazing. So one side with twisted loop and the other side with micro twisted loop. You can choose which side you prefer. Super high quality, South Korean made. It's absolutely amazing. We blow dried the wheels and tires because due to the hydrophobic properties of the ceramic spray sealant, the wheels were super easy to dry. Now we're using the Clean by Pan, the organizer spray polish with the Clean by Pan blue foam polishing pad. So to prime the pad at low speed, spin the pad on your polisher at speed number 1. And while it's spinning, 2 sprays to prime the pad. And after that, for subsequent passes, all you need is 1 to 2 sprays to reload the product. And you're going to do up and down, left to right passes on your panel. And that's going to, well, remove any oxidation. It's going to help remove any light swirls or scratches, improve the clarity, the gloss, the depth, the pop, all that kind of stuff, and kind of deep cleanse the paint as well. Here we chose to do a 1-step paint correction. That's why I'm using the blue foam polishing pad, because that's all that's needed. There weren't deep scratches or swirls or heavy oxidation. This is a newer vehicle, right? 2025 model. So this would be more than enough. And then when I'm doing the paint correction, I'm bumping that speed up to 5 when I'm actually correcting. I'm using the Clean by Pan, the organizer Freebird 400 towel to remove the polish itself. Very, very easy to buff off. It leaves no dusting. It's just a breeze to work with. To clean the pad between passes, I'm using the Lake Country 4000 pad washer. So I put the Clean by Pan, the organizer rinseless wash solution at a 1 to 256 dilution in 2 gallons of water in the bucket. You pump up the liquid inside the pad and then you spin at speed number 1. I'm using the DIY Detail rotary polisher for cleaning the pads, and I'm using the DIY Detail cordless dual action 25 milliliter polisher for the actual paint correction. Then you pull up the pad after you cleaned it, just a few inches off the bottom. You spin at super high speed, speed number 5, to free up all the remaining liquid, and you have a very clean pad. Then you reload 2 sprays on the pad itself. Here again, I'm using the dual action polisher for the actual paint correction, 25 millimeter orbit. So it has a large throw. And again, we're going to town. Don't apply too much pressure. Again, always let the pad, the polish, and the machine do the work for you. If you're applying too much force, you're going to have some stalling. Well, this machine is actually quite powerful, so it might go through that, but you never want to apply too much pressure because that would generate a lot of heat, and heat is the enemy of paint correction. Always work on cool surfaces, and unless you're a mobile detailer and have experience and can use your techniques to kind of go battle against the sunlight, you never want to polish in direct sunlight, regardless of which compound or polish you're using. Be very thorough, observe your work. You can use inspection lights to go over that. And guys, in the next episode, stay tuned because we're going to go over how to prep the panel for the ceramic coating application on the paint, on the taillights, headlights, plastic trim, and all that good stuff. We're going to use a glass-specific coating on the windshield and the rest of the glass. You're going to see the hydrophobics. So keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one.